Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video. And well, I had planned to shoot this earlier, but well, life came in the way as usual. Things happened and stuff, and I got more stuff to reveal. So first of all, we're gonna deal with an unboxing video. Got mail from Essen, once again from Simon Kamata and his Umland Records label. You've seen this before, beautiful logo, which probably like represents the surroundings of Essen with a nice little message on the back. Yo, like true hip-hop style. But before I wanna dive into this, just a short announcement regarding BANDCAMP, because I have been getting like a few messages and I've finally given in and provided preview files, preview snippets for all the releases on my labels on BANDCAMP with a little bit of an annoying voiceover, but I did this for a reason, because because those preview files are WAV and they are downloadable, they tend to end up on Russian MP3 stores or whatever, even though I don't sell MP3s and I don't sell any digital files. So I decided to have a voiceover for these files every 15 seconds. So if you're annoyed the heck out of that, that's exactly what they are for. But those files are proficient to get a little bit of a preview and an insight of what is in there musically. So if you want to check out my BANDCAMP, Intrauterin recordings, bandcamp.com. Link is always down in the description side, description box. Check this out, check out the releases. And yeah, a few Combat Dubs releases, Combat Dubs 2 popped up unexpectedly, so I found a few and put them up on BANDCAMP as well as we speak right now. One of these is already gone, but two are still remaining. So if you want to have this, get in there and buy one as soon as they're available, because, well, as you know, there has been a little bit of a hype around this release, and they have been selling out pretty quickly. But now let's dive into Umland Records. Label from Essen, you know the score. I've talked about this label many a times on this channel. So with recent releases, they've been branching out from their foundation of jazz and got into more experimental music as well, some electro acoustic stuff as well, and some things that have been a little bit of Max MSP-esque, I guess, in terms of sound processing. Let's dive into this. Let's see what they sent me. And those envelopes are the stickiest envelopes I've ever seen. So where do you get those, guys? That's interesting. And what we got here is an album with an interesting title. Let's show it first. TÜRK. I don't have any idea. TÜRK is maybe referring to Turkey, to the country, or to someone from that country, maybe. Floral, very floral, design, album cover. And once again, a little bit of a unusual format, because this is a little bit bigger than a usual CD, I feel. It feels kind of big, I don't know. So there's the inside. It's Umland Records 46 actually. So they've been busy. And there are a few tracks on there, Dunkle Zeiten, Wieder kein Oscar, which is, I didn't want an Oscar award once again. If you wanna translate it to English, Summer in the Past, Dorf Punk, The Saddest Thing in Your Life, Mark 16, Sinai. And oh, there is an URL on there, which just reveals that the guy who is behind this is an artist named Markus TÜRK, which does make sense when it comes to the album title actually. So here it is, a little bit of a floral thing. And there is a postcard coming with it. The Dorf and Consort, Die vollkommene Larve, the most perfect lava, actually. This is an additional postcard. They used to send me postcards with those releases, and I love them for sending postcards to people. And there is a little bit of a letter and a little bit of an info sheet actually. Markus TÜRK, TÜRK. So yeah, this is where the title comes from. Maybe I should have read this info sheet like before like showing the CD. We'd be delighted to have a review in your magazine. Of course, there will be a review on my website, nightstyle.de. Link as always down the description box below. And Markus TÜRK plays a lot of horns actually. Trumpet, flugelhorn, tenor horn, trombone, tuba, guitars, bass, didgeridoo, berimbau, whatever this is, vocals, drums and percussion. So one guy, many instruments, like a one-man big band actually. Don't know what this is. And he is like living in a small village actually, somewhere down the Rhine. And he is like playing a lot of like wind and brass instruments obviously. Has been a part of Family 5, which is a punk band from Düsseldorf, or like connected to the Düsseldorf scene actually. Played like stuff and instruments in a lot of bands, in jazz, rock, Latin, ambient, soul, even in theater and stuff. And now he did a solo record on which he plays all instruments by himself. So obviously as a one guy with like many instruments, that is gonna be like an effort and also like an experimental, I guess a more experimental thing. And there's nothing said about this style, but we'll see, we'll find out. So here is actually the whole list of instruments and the press text from which I derived all the information like just on the fly. Here is the cover once again. TÜRK, Markus TÜRK, a guy who started at age 9 and now 30 years later is doing a full-on solo album. There's also a CD in there as well, of course. TÜRK looks like this. And the inner part of the CD also mentions a little bit of mix loops, electronics, and I thought I had seen the word ambient in there, but I haven't, so I was mistaken on that. But yeah, this is Markus TÜRK, the guy behind this album, and still I feel I need to compare that to like normal CD. I have like a few over here, so there's one, but no, it's actually, that's strange. Here's another one, it's the same size, but it feels bigger, like somewhat like bigger than a usual CD, which is a strange thing, and I will find out why that is. But anyway, short unboxing for now. Gonna have to do some other things after like editing this, so I'm gonna get at it right now. Been busy today, recorded a new mix for Radio Abuse once again, so I'm on a level of recording 2 mixes per weekend right now, to have like a little bit of like kind of a, now the word is escaping me right now. Yeah, more of an archive or a stack of mixes I can pull from, and I have like been diving deep into like rave and trance and old school trance 90s stuff with a lot of 90s records today. So I recorded a mix that will be transmitted on a radio station. I actually know which one it will be later this year in a concept show which will be more like rave oriented and stuff. And one thing I found pretty much interesting with mixing all these 90s records and also like XL recordings and labels or like tracks from like acts like Dance to Trance and Jam and Spoon and stuff, how quiet the production and the mixing was back in the days with all those pressings compared to the tracks nowadays. So it was like very unusual and very tricky, and there's a lot of dynamic changes from one record to another. I love this, like I had this in a DJ mix I listened to by my friend DJ Crumble from France recently, like an old one, 2002 vinyl mix, Dark Jungle and stuff, and I already recognized in this mix how important the dynamic changes from record to record were. But in the early 90s, compared to now, oh, those were quiet, and all those bass drums were like, nowadays it's like boom, each bass drum hits you in the head and in the stomach, and those bass drums were like peck, 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 like, I don't know, they were like ridiculous in comparison to today's production standards. And still I remember at raves back in the days that everything sounded good and loud and perfect and clear, but maybe it was because I was young, but still there's like a huge difference between mastering like in the early 90s and nowadays, so there has a lot of progress been made. So that's just a side note, but now I'm going to go into editing mode. Thank you again to Simon Kamata, to the Umland Records crew for sorting me out. I'm going to review this solo album by Markus TÜRK in a bit, like in a few days I guess, and I'm going to see you in the next one. See you later.